Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my review of the LEGO Star Wars set 75348 Mandalorian Fang Fighter vs TIE Interceptor. Is it worth that $100 price tag? That's what we'll find out today. As always, this video includes both objective and subjective information about this set, along with my own personal thoughts and opinions at the very end of the video. Well, let's see what this is all about. Quite a large box, of course using the Mandalorian LEGO box art, because what a surprise, this set is based off the Mandalorian. The first thing I thought was, I feel like the angle of the TIE Interceptor doesn't really do it justice, but we'll get into that later. On the sides and back, some more details about the figures and features, and well, let's open it up. Inside we find 8 numbered bags, 2 instruction manuals, 1 for each individual ship, and no sticker sheet for a change. On this manual it doesn't list the 8th bag, which is quite interesting. This is the set I was most excited for though, so let's not waste any time. First, some objective information about this LEGO set. Set 75348 is based off the finale episode of The Mandalorian Season 3. It comes with a total of 957 pieces and retails for $100 US, 100 euros, 90 British pounds, and 160 Australian. In dollars, this gives you a value of about 10 cents per brick, which is right about what we're used to. If we look at the weight, that being 1280 grams, we get a price of about 8 cents per gram of LEGO. It includes 4 minifigures, 3 of which are brand new, and here's a quick look at the spare parts. I love how you get extra pieces for a second darksaber in there, along with a gun and a thermal detonator. Combined, the instruction manuals have 199 pages. And that seems pretty much all the info you need. Bit of a strange thing about this whole set, the Fang Fighter and TIE Interceptor actually never battle during the scene it's based on. They're both present, but don't interact in any way. I am pretty sure though that at the time of this set's creation, these two were going to be facing off against each other. It probably just never made it into the final episode. This is sad to see, but we can't blame LEGO for this because they probably just didn't know at the time. Let's first take a peek at the awesome minifigures we're getting. The first Mandalorian minifigure with a new darksaber design, I absolutely love it. For me, it's the perfect blend of the style of LEGO and what it's actually meant to look like. Another notable thing is the new helmet print. This is a massive step up from what we had previously with the Beskar helmet, and I'm loving that bit of accuracy. The rest of the figure remains the same as previous ones, but still looks fantastic to me. I've always wondered about the jetpack though. It seems to me that the lighter helmet color would go pretty nicely on this, since in the series it matches as well. But this is probably due to production reasons. Underneath the helmet there's the Din Djarin face, sadly without a second face, but let's be real, he can't remove his helmet anyway. Fantastic figure, onto the next one. I was most curious for this one, the Mandalorian Fleet Commander. He is briefly seen during the scenes and the resemblance is decent. You can choose between the helmet and the hairpiece, but I really think we can all agree that the helmet is just superior. The printing looks super nice and detailed, utilizing the silver printing again, which I'm a big fan of. No arm printing for this one, but the printing on the back, although covered by the jetpack, is also a nice detail. He comes with 2 faces, one smiling and the other kind of a smirk, I suppose. It's quite a fun, unique looking face. In general, it's always nice to see different kind of Mandalorians for the collection, and naturally this one looks great. I must say it might have been cool to have X-Woves instead, given he's a bigger part in the show, but nonetheless this will do nicely. The TIE pilot we get is the same one you get in the TIE Bomber, but given it is a TIE Interceptor, it couldn't be complete without one. What technically makes this one a bit different though is her face. We haven't had this one before. I've always been a sucker for the details on these though, it's honestly really sleek looking. And I'm just a big simp for Imperials, so really each type is welcome for me. And finally, an Imperial astromech. This one speaks for itself, I think. It looks as nice as you'd expect, but also isn't anything special. That may also have to do with the fact that these droids just don't look amazing in universe, they're kinda boring, but that could be just me. No printing on the backside though, that's kinda sad. Now on to the first 50% of this set, the Mandalorian Fang Fighter. Starting with the building experience, I have to be honest with you, it was relatively boring. You can kind of tell by the design, it's really just plates and more plates. And some more plates. It's only at the very end that you actually start adding the cockpit and engines. That's nice, I suppose, but other than that, there simply isn't much there. I spent about 40 minutes building this. Before saying anything else, I want to mention I'm a very big fan of this set overall, but one thing holds it back for me, and that's the inclusion of this entire ship. I don't find it relevant in any way, I don't find it to look iconic design-wise, I don't like that it's white. I don't know, I guess I'm just not interested in getting this ship, but that aside, LEGO did do a fantastic job at the looks, I must say, and it sure as hell, I like it a lot more than I thought I would. It is 24.5 centimeters wide, 26 centimeters long, and about 4.5 high. It is very streamlined, very sturdy. You can throw this off a flat and nothing would happen to it, I mean that. So for play, this is an absolute dream ship. The engines in particular I think do look quite good and they're well implemented. And I also appreciate how the top and bottom are kind of similar in terms of coloring. The patterns match pretty nicely. The features are limited. The cockpit can open for you to put your desired minifigure inside, including jetpack. You do have to put the rangefinder down for it to fit in there, but that's fine. At the front of the ship there's also a tiny compartment for your gun and thermal detonator. At the bottom there's two standard spring-loaded shooters, which really fire like any other. Overall, the best way to describe it is basic. If you like this vehicle, this LEGO version definitely does a great job, no complaints there. However, personally, I just find the original ship boring, so naturally I won't have much of an interest in this one. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what I was waiting for a long bloody time, might I add. The last TIE Interceptor was in 2005, and I just love the TIE Fighters designs from Star Wars, and I want to have at least one of each. So this Interceptor was a must-buy for me the moment I heard of its existence. Building it was really quite similar to other TIEs, slightly different techniques and design elements maybe. There was quite some variety, even though it's another gray and black Star Wars ship, I had a ton of fun. I spent about an hour putting this together, a bit longer than the Fang Fighter. It measures 20 centimeters wide, 24.5 long, and 15.5 high, and in hand it really feels and looks bigger than I expected. Now as a whole, I just gotta say I'm in love with the design. This is absolutely everything I could have possibly asked for. The accuracy is also simply stellar, and I'm so excited for this one. Starting off with the cockpit, it looks even cleaner than other TIE cockpits we've seen. It's also quite big. It's a bit more rounded as well than, for example, the 2018 TIE Fighter cockpit, which already looks very good to me. It uses two detailed printed pieces, one for the windshield and the other on top here, and again, no stickers in this entire set. That is very interesting to see. On the inside they use some transparent red pieces to get that reddish vibe going on, and it works and looks really well. It looks really well. It looks really good. There's a tiny gap between the wing connection here, but I don't really mind that. The wings are very nicely tiled off, and even the inside of them is taken care of. The front has these guns on them, which look quite lovely, and really it is just a gorgeous model. It looks fantastic. I'm amazed by how well they actually designed this on this relatively small scale. The sturdiness is right about what you'd expect. The wings are a teeny bit wiggly, but there's no possible way to avoid this without butchering the look completely. But even considering that, it is still quite strong and play-proof. The wings are connected in a pretty ingenious way, so you don't have to worry about those breaking off. The only thing that could potentially fall off are these little guns on the wings. To place your figure inside, you can open up the front and top part of the cockpit and slide your figure in from above. If you close the windshield from a bit of an angle though, without much thought, it sometimes hits the side of these pieces here, but I forgive that because when it's closed it looks so good, it's ridiculous. There's also two spring-loaded shooters on this guy with a lovely green vibrant color. If you put it down, it does stay up, but the weight does push it down just a tiny bit, which folds the wings. I'd recommend either building a stand out of bricks or buying something online if you want to display this model. Compared to the 2018 TIE Fighter and recent TIE Bomber, I just love the way that looks. It's clear to me that this scales far better with this TIE Fighter than with the newer and smaller version. Even though I don't own it, I do know how big it is, and this just looks perfect to me. The TIE Bomber actually looks a bit smaller compared to these two. Anyway, I'm very happy to have this finally added to my growing collection. In short, Wow, what a lovely Interceptor model and quite a fun secondary fighter, I suppose. Half this set I really love, and the other half maybe I didn't need. They are both in the same box though, so if you share my opinion, should you buy this set?
Pros and cons.
Design-wise, it is so good I am about to cry. Even the Fang Fighter, it may not be for me, but you can't deny the looks of it being just right. The build quality and sturdiness is pretty much the best you could have asked for, and honestly great minifigures in my opinion, including the nicely updated Mandalorian figure. There are a few negatives as well that don't weigh as heavily, but absolutely cannot be ignored. There's 2 ships in one set, making the price substantially higher than individual ships. I can imagine more people wanting just this TIE Interceptor, especially since we haven't had one in ages. And for many people, $100 is a hefty price for something like this. I would have preferred this being a set like the TIE Bomber. About $60 seems absolutely fair. This is part of my job now, so it doesn't really matter for me, but overall I think it brings the set down, especially considering the next point I want to make. This never actually takes place. If the Fang Fighter had more relevance, like Bo-Katan's Comrade class fighter, it would have been different, maybe. The Interceptor is a ship we know and love from the original movies as well. It was iconic before the Mandalorian show even existed. I'm gonna be honest though, personally I would have bought this set either way. I am that big of a fan of this ship. Overall, do I recommend this set? Yes. If you have the money, there's a bunch of play features for kids, there's plenty for adults as well, and I mean, just look at it. And whether you like the Fang Fighter or not, it is not a bad deal. If you liked this video, make very sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell not to miss a single future upload, and then I hope I'll see you in the next video.